Most think more time equals better work, but that's just simply not true.
That was a lie.
A lot of the most productive people are artificially shrinking their deadlines in order to be the most possibly productive that they absolutely can be. If you give yourself a week to do a task, it's gonna take a week to do that task.
1 week later.
Give yourself an hour, and it's gonna take an hour. That is Parkinson's law. And here I am about to show you how to leverage Parkinson's law in a way to double, triple, and maybe even 10 times your current productivity level. The first point here is to have a deadline. And I know so many people hate and dread and do not like deadlines, but the harsh truth and the harsh reality here is that deadlines are a must if you want to maximize your productivity. So what do I mean by that? Obviously, we all know what a deadline is, but why is it that deadlines make us so much more productive as individuals? The simple truth is when you have a deadline, it forces you to be productive because you know, I've got to get this done tonight, or I've got to get this done 24 hours from now. I've got to get this done by the end of the week, and it forces you to get up and do something. And so the end product here of creating a deadline is forcing that productivity out of you. And like, there's so many people that we admire for working so well under pressure, or working so well when they have a deadline and there's not very much time to perform, but they just pull it out by some miracle. And that miracle is no miracle at all. It's the concept that I've explained through Parkinson's law, which is if you tell yourself that you have an exam you've got to study for, and the exam's tomorrow morning, and you've got an 8-hour time window of like when you would normally be going to bed to study for this exam, then you're going to cram in that studying and you're going to do well on that exam. You got a project that's due or something of that nature, and it's due tomorrow, and you've only got 4 hours to finish that project. Somehow you're going to cram it through and you're going to finish that project in 4 hours. And so the absolute importance of a deadline here is what pushes you and propels you forward towards that productivity that we all want and desire. I know so many people avoid deadlines. A lot of people start their own businesses because they don't want to be on someone else's time and because they don't want to be held to deadlines. But a lot of those independent businesses will fail within the first 1 to 5 years, and a lot of it's because they were trying so hard to get away from deadlines that they failed to see and understand the importance of having a deadline. And that is ultimately why these businesses and these people do not strive out on their own, because they don't have anyone holding them to the coals and being like, no, you've got to get this done. And why productivity wanes when you have no direction to go towards. And that's really what a deadline gives you, is it gives you a sense of direction. In all of my creative endeavors, I give myself a deadline. I act as if I'm on some sort of production crunch whenever I'm making a video, creating a novel, or making my animation. I force myself to have those crunches, and I give myself those deadlines, not because I want to feel pressured into doing something, but because I know I'm going to be more likely to be productive and successful if I do. And so the point number 2 here is to set your own consequences and enforce those consequences as well. So basically, like, it's one thing to say, hey, I got to get this thing done by the end of the week. But if you're the only one holding yourself accountable to that thing, if this is a self-set deadline, then there's really no consequences there, is there? You're just going to get to the end of the week, you're not going to do the thing, and you'll be like, oh, darn, guys, didn't do the thing. Better luck next time. No, that's not how that goes. Like, you've got to hold yourself accountable. If you can't hold yourself accountable, then how can you expect anybody else to hold yourself accountable? And how can you expect to get anywhere? So you set the deadline, and you set yourself a clear consequence for having not met the deadline. Maybe you're like a total gym bro and you love going and working out and doing your thing, and that's totally cool. But maybe you hate running. Like, you like lifting weights like there's no tomorrow, but if you gotta run like even for a second, you're just dreading everything about your existence. I would set your consequence as something of or related to running then, because it's still moving you towards your overall fitness goal of hitting the gym and stuff, but it's forcing you to do something that you hate. So it's like, dang, I gotta get this video out by Friday. And if I don't get it out by Friday, I gotta run a mile. And boy, howdy, do I hate running. So absolutely, very important, this consequence step, but don't overstep Don't give yourself a cruel and unusual punishment. Make it something reasonable that still helps you be productive or progress in some other aspect of your life, but makes you do something that maybe you don't love. A popular one is like gaming, for example. Maybe if you don't meet your deadline, you can't play any games that week, or whatever is healthy for you, but something that you can stick to and something that you will actually hold yourself to. And again, like, there's no point to the deadline if there's no consequence at the end of the road for not having met it. And so point number 3 is where we kind of wrap up the first 2 points and we start what is known as my hour of power program. Power up. And so we've set ourselves a deadline. We got to make a video by Friday, just for an example's purpose. And we've also made a consequence where it's like, if I don't get this video done, then I got to run a mile. And so how am I going to get this video done? And that is where the hour of power comes into play here. So basically the concept is you find 1 hour every day leading up to your deadline. So we're going to say the week starts on Monday, because most normal people's weeks start on Monday. If you have Saturday and Sunday off, Sunday doesn't really feel like a natural start of the week, does it? So anyway, your week starts on Monday. Find an hour on Monday, an hour on Tuesday, an hour on Wednesday, and an hour on Thursday. And then hopefully within that 4-hour time period, you will finish your video in time for Friday when that comes around. And then you can treat Saturday and Sunday as your off time, or if you really need to, you can bank Saturday and Sunday into more single-hour increments to get your project done and batch it up in that regards. But essentially, you're going to break your project up. So in this example, the project that we need to do is we need to make a video. The video needs to be done and ready to go by Friday. And so in that regards, we're going to break the video up. So what is a video? We're going to make a script for the video. We're going to film the video. We're going to edit the video. And those are like 3 essential components to making a good video. And so we spend an hour on Monday making the script. We spend an hour on Tuesday filming the video. We spend an hour on Thursday. I skipped a day. We spend an hour on Monday writing the script. We spend an hour on Tuesday filming the video, and we spend an hour on Wednesday putting it all together and editing it together. That gives us a whole day on Wednesday for buffer to just, like, if I need to make up time somewhere, I've got Thursday. Or if I lose an hour, because Lord knows we're all busy, crazy people out here, we're gonna lose an hour somewhere. If you lose an hour on Tuesday, make it up on Thursday. But it's important to break up the task into hour-long chunks. And again, leverage Parkinson's law. Because if you decide that it's going to take you an hour to write that script, you're going to get it done in an hour. If you decide it's going to take you an hour to film this video, you'll get it done in an hour. If you decide it's going to take you an hour to edit the video, you will get it done in an hour. But you need to make that decision, and you will be able to be successful when you do that. But if you just stand off in lollygog land and just don't know what the heck you're doing, and don't set any goals, don't set any deadlines, and don't actually try and force productivity out of yourself, then you'll never make that goal. But again, come Friday, you'll have a fully released, ready to go video that you can pump out into the world. And the best part is it's repeatable. And so then start again next week. Take Saturday, take Sunday, take them off, do whatever you got to do for yourself, reset on Monday, write a new script on Monday, take an hour on Tuesday to film the video, take an hour on Wednesday to edit the video together, and then you have Thursday open to do whatever. And the more repetitions you get here, the more often you do it, the more used to it you will get, and once you're completely used to it, you might even find time savings. Because if I'm being honest and breaking down my own video making process, it doesn't take me an hour to write a script. I could probably write like 3 scripts in an hour. And the videos alone, like the raw film time for a lot of these videos is like 10 to 15 minutes. So with that, I could film 4 videos in an hour. And then the editing time, I'm a pretty slow editor. It usually takes me an hour, if not more, to edit a whole video together. And so then I can use my bonus time on Thursday to finish up the editing. But I've also got a script done and filming done for up to 3 to 4 other videos that I can now play with, and then roll that into next week, because compound interest is a thing, and compound interest is great with money. money, it's great with productivity too, let me tell you. So you roll that into next week, and then now you've got the filming out of the way, the scripting out of the way, and you just got to edit on Monday, edit on Tuesday, edit on Wednesday, edit on Thursday. Boom, all the filming you did the previous week is done. Now you've got 4 videos batched out and ready to frolic into the world, and that's just how you manage and compound and use Parkinson's law and do all the things that I've told you here in order to be a massively productive individual. So kind of wrapping up the whole bundle here into one nice little soft nest egg thingy, you've got step 1, make a deadline for yourself. Make a deadline for yourself. Hold yourself accountable. Step 2, reinforce your accountability with consequences. If I don't get a video done by Friday, I'm gonna be running a mile, and boy do I hate to run. And then step 3, use the hour of power throughout the week and just get it done. A lot of people struggle to find time or struggle to do whatever. Everybody's schedule is different. I can't sit here and detail out how everybody and every schedule will possibly make this work, but what I can tell you is you can find an hour out of the 24 hours of each day. You can find 1 hour, and even if that's in 2 30-minute chunks or even 4 15-minute chunks, the more you chunk it out, the harder it is to be massively productive, but you can make it work. I've done most every division of an hour that you can imagine. I've done 6 10-minute chunks, and boy was that a rotten experience, but you can make it work. Find the time, squeeze it in, force the deadlines, and be productive. Because once again, and I can't stress enough because I really do believe this concept, as Parkinson's law dictates, if you allow up to 1 hour of time to do something, you will get it done in an hour. If you give yourself a week to do something, you'll get it done in a week. But the more time you give something, the longer it will take. And if you don't set any time at all, then it will just sit there in space and in la la land and never get done. So please, 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 if you take nothing out of this video, nothing at all, remember to set the deadline, get the consequence, and keep yourself accountable with an hour of power every day. This has been my video. Got more videos on this channel that I would just be absolutely delighted if you check them out. Got my own animation here on YouTube. I write novels as well. If you were to check any of that content out, that would be absolutely delicious. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the next one.